Hey everybody. I'm going to speak about an industry which is basically developed very fast in the past couple of years. And this is an industry of $60 billion now. And basically, this is an industry which is based on trust. But before I dig deeper into crowdfunding, I'd like to tell a little how I became a kind of crowdfunding expert. Maybe this strategy will be useful for a couple of people as well in here. So it all started 3 years ago when I watched a random video on YouTube of one guy who was explaining how he sold his car wash business and went to digital marketing. He was a graduate of Animal Husbandry University with a specialization on gorillas. And he was in the car wash business for more than 20 years. So he sold his business, went into digital marketing, and suddenly, in a very quick period of time, he became one of the best internet marketing specialists in the world. I found that story fascinating, and it basically changed my life. So I quit my job and decided to become an expert in the internet marketing area as well. I wanted to focus on crowdfunding because crowdfunding was the emerging industry at that time. And so my strategy was very simple. I had to just interview about 50 people who succeeded before in crowdfunding and ask them two simple questions. What worked in crowdfunding and what didn't work? And suddenly, I came up with more than 100 very useful and very effective ideas and strategies, which I wrote down, carefully analyzed them, and went to another guy, the 51st one, who was struggling at that time. And I said, hey, well, you know, I'm kind of expert in the crowdfunding, and I can help you in here, and I can give you very practical strategies which will be useful for your campaign. Of course, he was very reluctant at that time to receive advice from somebody who had never done these kind of things before. But I managed to kind of convince him, and to my great surprise, it worked. And he managed to raise the amount of money that he was aiming to at that time. So I was more happier than he was at the time, and I published that ideas into a book and put it on Amazon. And again, to my great surprise, it became a bestseller in the crowdfunding category of Amazon. So this is how I entered into the field, and I started to receive many inquiries from people from all over the world, and started to dig deeper into crowdfunding. So what is crowdfunding? Well, as the name implies, crowdfunding is raising money from big number of people, small amount of money from big amount of people, as the name implies, like money from the crowd. But the concept is not new and existed way before. And even, you know, such famous structures as Eiffel Tower and the Liberty Statue were financed using crowdfunding mechanisms. But crowdfunding really emerged in the past couple of years due to the emergence of internet and became very popular. Crowdfunding brings to life a lot of technological innovations that we currently use, such as smartwatch, Oculus Rift, although these Pebble guys are not in the business anymore, but basically they introduced the smartwatch to the world. And usually crowdfunding is associated with technological innovations and technological advancement, but it's not always the case. If you have an idea which solves a very apparent problem which has a mass market, you can definitely go to crowdfunding and create a global business with it. For example, one of our projects was created by one guy from the United States who was a father of 4 children. So, and United States is not like in Armenia. Fathers participate in the diaper changing activities of their children much more. So this guy suddenly noticed that children put their hands in a place where they shouldn't be during this diaper changing procedure. And he came up with a very handy barrier, which is this. So, which basically, you see, which prevents the children to reach to these emerging points. So he created this project. This project raised $120,000. $120,000 with no blockchain, no VR, no Internet of Things, no without these fancy words. And he became a local hero. he was invited with a lot of TV shows. I think once CNN was invited him, and he was going, and the children were put it in there, and he was like explaining everybody how his invention works. So he quit his job. He became, he created a global business with this technology with like very simple area. You can see it's like kind of piece of fabric, but it solves a very apparent problem. So crowdfunding is, can be used for everyone. And it creates a platform by eliminating the middlemen like banks, venture capitalists, other businesses which you might refer to. And it creates an opportunity for everyone to work with the trust, which basically speeds up the process much more. So now this is a $60 billion industry, which is basically backed by trust. And this is a win-win situation for all the parties, because creators understand if they are honest and transparent enough, they will get the money, produce their products, and they have a great chance to create a global business, and they will benefit much more than the amount of money. And backers understand that if they trust to these creators, they will get a great innovations for a fraction of a price with much sooner than everybody else. Can I take the money and run away? This is the question that I get most of the time. And this seems to really very attractive to a lot of people who heard for the first time about crowdfunding. And the answer is, yes, you can, but you shouldn't. Because if you do, a lot of people from all over the world will try to find you. Whatever nickname you use, they will find you, I can assure you. And you'll basically forget about online business. And a lot of very powerful journalists will also find you and write articles, negative articles about you, and warn people to stick away from you. So, and basically you will sacrifice nine other benefits that I found very useful. And for each of these benefits, it is worth to go to crowdfunding. First, it's a market research. For a very quick, short of time, you create a really good market research. Imagine the alternative way you would go to business, you'll spend a lot of money, or you should hire a sociological company to create a good research for you, and it will be very expensive. But in crowdfunding, you very quickly understand will your project will take off or not. Even very big corporations using crowdfunding for market research to understand whether their products, their new inventions have potential or not. It's a great feedback. These backers, people who provide you donations, they are not similar customers. They are kind of your team members, and they are very concerned and interested to provide you better feedback, to provide you good advice. And with our recent project, we got so many valuable advices that we even didn't think of with our team. And we put aside our thoughts and implemented the ones that we got from our backers. This is pre-orders. Of course, for any hardware business, this is a great thing. This is a PR. A lot of journalists are very keen to cover crowdfunding stories. It is very hard for a typical business to enter into these big publications like Forbes, Mashable, I don't know, TechCrunch, but journalists refer to people who are in crowdfunding as a little bit different. To them, crowdfunding is full of human inspiring stories. This is a great loyalty. A lot of companies spend a number of years and resources to gain this kind of loyalty that you can get within a couple of months. These people, as I said, they are your team members, and they will buy whatever you do in your next projects. This is a word of mouth. A lot of people will share your project and create a lot of buzz around you. This is a partnership offers. Of course, it might not be your primary offer, but I can assure you that with a successful crowdfunding campaign, you will get so many offers from all over partners from all over the world, like retailers, suppliers, wholesalers, and anything else. We got like around from 300 to 500 offers from many people. These are your customers, and this is a very good confidence towards investors. Successful crowdfunding campaign is a kind of proof of concept. Otherwise, if you go to investors, it's very subjective. It's up to them. They think it will work or it will not work. But if you have a successful project, you have already proof of the market. You can see that there's an apparent demand in there, and it becomes very easy to raise another round of investment after crowdfunding. With our recent project, we raised $1.2 million from 135 countries within a very short period of time. And there were even 3 countries I never heard of. And all these people trusted us without freezing our bank accounts, without asking their lawyers to call us and see is everything okay or not. They just trusted us without knowing us personally. And trust and honesty, I wonder what will happen if trust and honesty appears are win-win factors in other industries as well, like in politics, business, or banking. Thank you.